What key would you put reset zoom level on? Something to like zero the camera zoom back to the default zoom level. Enter? We don't actually use the enter key for anything in game. Space is to center the camera on camp. What if enter was to reset the zoom level? It seems kind of strange. Strange use for the enter key, but backspace? Why would it be backspace? So I'm thinking of moving the like cycle through. It's not cycling, is it? The spellbook page plus and minus keys from the plus and minus buttons to page up and page down, because that kind of makes more sense. And then plus and minus can be used to increase or decrease the time scale. And we could possibly get rid of the 1, 2, 3, 4, F1 through F4 time scale controls. Although I do like being able to switch directly from, it's less key presses if I can switch directly from 8 times speed back to 1 times speed, or vice versa, as opposed to having to go through the, I suppose it's not too bad to have to hit plus or minus 3 times. I think it might be a worthwhile trade-off, just because, I mean, the main thing that I don't like right now is that I've moved the help button to F7, and that just doesn't make sense when the F1 key is typically used for the help menu. I mean, I know the help menu is not even going to be in the final game. It's just like it's not a debug feature. It's a feature of the playtest. It's a placeholder for the tutorial, which will be in the game eventually. Not even really a placeholder for that. Beginner Island is a placeholder for the tutorial, but the help menu exists due to the lack of tutorial. But I would prefer to have that on the F1 key. So what I think I'm going to do, I can't just increase the timescale by 1, but it's not going to be difficult to use plus and minus for timescale, page up and page down. And I don't know what to, I'm doing zoom stuff now. This doesn't seem perfect. It's better than what I was able to get yesterday. Basically I did this math wrong yesterday when I was trying to do this at like 1 in the morning for God knows what reason. But this is, yeah, it's better than nothing. I mean, I can, whoops, see, I don't, yeah, this is what page up and page down does now. It's just an alternate version of zooming, which you do with the scroll wheel, which seems redundant. But if I do home and end, I'll get min zoom and max zoom. It's still cursor based, but it doesn't line up to the cursor perfectly. Like if I hover right over the men here and then hit home, we actually wind up next to it instead of directly on top of it for some reason. So it's slightly off. And it's the same when you just zoom in like this. Like if I'm over here and then I zoom in on this. Oh, wait a minute, that's kind of seems perfect. Okay, maybe just ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about. It might have something to do with actually the bounds of the room, because you can't take the camera outside the room. So what if I go in the very center of the room, and then... No, that's still misaligned. Seems worse when I'm zooming out like that, because it's pretty close when I'm... Jesus. Pretty close when I'm zooming in. Oh yeah, when I'm zooming out, it's going way off. Okay. So I'm doing min zoom wrong still, I guess. What am I doing? I think this math is correct, so I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Oh, that seems pretty good. I guess I was supposed to be doing to the power of zoom difference. Yeah, that's really accurate, actually. Wow. That's nice. Zoom in exactly where I want. Hell yeah. Okay, I mean, it's not 100% accurate, maybe, but... Yeah, why is it always kind of slightly off? I'm not sure. It's pretty good, though, right? I mean, it's this, I get the same result as if I zoom all the way in. Like that. I don't know why it's... I mean, I suppose I'm expecting it to, like, center up on the cursor, so the cursor would be at the middle of the screen, but that's not what it's supposed to do. Oh, this is really nice, though. Okay, that's what I was aiming for. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I mean, math is not exactly my strong suit. But now I can, like, zoom in on whatever I'm hovering over, pretty much. I think you can zoom in even further than we could before now. We have... not sure on the exact numbers, but there's 9... Slow down. There's 9... I don't know how to reset to regular zoom. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's regular zoom. There's 9 levels of zoom either side of 0 or default. I'm gonna sneeze. Whoa. And yeah, so you can do this thing now where you like, you're here and then you want to look at over there, and then you want to look back here, you want to look over there. You know, you can zoom around without having to like drag the camera as much anyway. Honestly, I think the max zoom might be a little bit extreme. I don't know. It's pretty cool that you can zoom right in on like one character, I guess. Oh yeah, if the follow cam is attached to something or somebody, I feel like it kinda... might be a little bit weird. If the follow cam is attached to somebody, then we want to use the position of the thing the follow cam is attached to instead of the mouse. I think if I just try and get the zooming, all the zooming stuff done before Brewer's playtest today, that's probably a good idea. I don't know if I'm gonna have time for much else. Just wondering, yeah, so it still sends us up if I like put the follow cam on something while zoomed all the way out. I don't see why it wouldn't have done that, but I wanted to check. Well, actually, wouldn't it be kind of smart to do like a temporary variable, like suppose we only really need to do this stuff if we are actually dragging. That is true, but it's not a big deal. Suppose we want to do this with regular zooming as well, if you're following something. Yeah, this was totally out of the blue. Wasn't expecting to do a camera overhaul or zooming overhaul, but this is something that Dr. Eyebrows suggested whilst he was here yesterday, that it would be really convenient to have this style of zooming. I'd never really heard of it before or used it before. Not played a game with this type of zooming, but it's something he said would be a big quality of life improvement, and I agreed. Okay, I mean, I'd at least like to fix the keybinds, and yeah, I'd like to fix the keybinds, I think. I'm just not happy with the help menu being on F7 instead of F1. Anyway, if I put the follow cam on something now and zoom, it zooms on that instead of the cursor, which is nice, and I can do min and max. And then if I detach the follow cam, it goes back to cursor zooming. Yeah, it's not... Maybe it... Yeah, I just don't know. It confuses me. Because I kind of like... When I do that and I zoom in, I expect this to wind up in the middle of the screen, but that's not how it works, is it? I don't know how I would do that, if that's really what I wanted, but I don't think that is what we want, actually. You kind of have to like aim slightly past it if you want it to wind up in the middle of the screen. But I'd say this is still a big quality of life improvement to be able to zoom around like this, and nobody's going to be pressing page up and page down to zoom in and out. That's just crazy talk. Maybe home and end to do full zoom and minimum zoom. I could kind of see that, but we definitely, I think, want page up and page down, right? But how do we do a reset zoom to default? And what key would that be bound to? I don't know. Most applications Control 0. Control 0 to reset zoom level. Okay. Seems odd because we don't use like the number keys for zooming. Nor do we use plus or minus, so it's Control 0. What if we did... Yeah, but it's suggesting that in conjunction with the plus and minus keys being used for zooming. But we're thinking of using that for timescale. But we could use something for timescale instead. We could use like the less than and greater than symbol. So we could throw zooming on plus and minus as well, and then Control 0, which is yes. Okay, Control 0 to reset zoom. Okay. Would you do something like Control plus and Control minus to zoom like fully in or out as well? Perhaps. I suppose if you're going to do that, you could just do Control mouse wheel as well. If you're holding Control when you scroll the mouse wheel, zoom all the way in or all the way out. Control middle mouse button could be reset zoom. Possibly. First I have to make it so that I have to actually make it work. Okay, so we just need to figure out how far from 0 we are. If it does not equal 0 already, If it's negative, then it's 0. Plus we need to know whether we got to divide or multiply. Jesus. Okay. Oh boy. So the whole code kind of needs to be, the whole of this kind of needs to be inside of the zoom level positive or negative check, really. But the thing is, I need to we'll just have to do a second check, I suppose, because wait, or can I put this? No, I could put that in. Wait. Yeah, I have to put that in there as well. And then... okay, that needs to equal 0. Gotta get this on control 0 somehow. I've not done anything with modifier keys yet, so interesting. How do I get... would it just be like that? I think so, and then left control, no, right control, either control. I suppose I'll do this on like control middle mouse as well. Okay. So I think that works for 0, and then... Wait, where? There's no freaking brackets on this thing, dude. I do not normally write if statements like that. Scares the hell out of me. Maybe that means this debug message wasn't even showing up. I wasn't looking for it, I guess. Key. VK left control. Right control. It's gotta just be R control, yeah. Okay, and 0, or can I do like a... Oh, there's so many frickin' brackets, dude. Or mouse check button. Okay. Middle. MB middle. Okay. And then zoom reset. We've still got 2 hours until Brewer goes live, so I've got plenty of time actually. Zoom out and then do Control 0. Hey, it does. Okay. Okay. I gotta. Fuck. It's still gonna select whatever miracle I've got on 0. Oh boy. Maybe I'll just do Control middle mouse. The middle mouse, follow cam, Control middle mouse. Then again, if I do Control and middle mouse and whilst clicking on something, it will also do follow cam, as well as resetting the zoom level. But at least the resetting the zoom level thing works, seemingly. What if I zoom in and then do it? Yeah, that seems good. Zoom out and do it. Zoom in and do it. Seems good. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure about the Control 0 thing. I would need to prevent these number keys for working for miracles if you're pressing Control. Right. But currently those are on events. So I have to transfer... Wait, are they on events? I think so. Where even is that stuff? Probably in here. Yeah. So I need to transfer these. Okay. Begin step. Why do I use begin step for this? What even is this? Oh, here's the thing that scroll... Okay, so this is actually going to be used for time control, and okay. What is this? Okay, I don't think I'm going to do this right now, but I'm going to make a note about it. It does need updating. Okay, it's not a big deal because, like, it almost never happens, really. And it works, it's just we're not doing it the most efficient way right now. Okay, so I'm either going to remove the Control 0 thing. I think I prefer having all of the camera controls on the mouse. Personally. Oh, I've still got it in my head that I'm going to use plus and minus for time control. Which I do prefer over using less than and greater than. So we're going to do away with this Control 0 thing. Better just grab something to drink. Alright, so control middle mouse will reset zoom. I don't have to worry about the number keys. And don't know why this is in begin step instead of step. What else is in here? Not much. That's the thing that brings up the game over screen. It should arguably be in the GUI object because it's GUI related, I guess. And everything in there is global anyway. So I could easily move that into the step event of the GUI object, I guess. Wait, no, what is this? Restart oh, this is not what I think it is. No, this is some, okay. Never mind. Alright, so spellbook page up and page down. We're gonna do check pressed, check released. I usually do released for stuff like sometimes you have that moment where you press a key but then you like pause after you've pressed it and you still want to do something. You can do something else and then release it and then it activates. So that's why I tend to go for released over pressed. Certain things like, well, I mean, you probably just use held in that sort of instance. Yeah, on something where it's like you just tap a key, I generally actually do the thing upon releasing the key. Here we go, yeah. Page -1 would be page down. There we go. And so we need a little bit of extra logic in here. For a second I thought it was called global.timescale, but it's just called global.time. Global time. Global time is 1. Global time becomes 2. Right, that should be else if. Global time. If it's 2, then it's going to be 4. It's 4, and it's going to be 8. Or you could just do else, so it's faster. Why do I feel like I'm missing something? No? 1 to 2, 2 to 4, else 8. Because it would be 4 to 8. And wait a minute. I think I did it backwards. This seems to be going up. This seems to like it should be going down. Okay. So this one would be, if time is 8, then it becomes 4. If it's 4, it becomes 2. Else it becomes 1. I should just be able to change the timescale with the plus and minus keys now. So 1 times speed, 2 times speed, 4 times speed, 8 times speed, 8 times speed. Oh, I can't go down again. Can't go down again, why is that? Oh, I'm still checking what spellbook page we're on. Yep. That's, I'll do it. There you go. Alright. And I haven't actually checked the page up and page down for the spellbook. Oh, it works, but it still zooms. And we do need additional spellbook pages eventually. Right now we don't have enough miracles to fill even 2 pages, so we're okay, but planning to do 5 pages worth? Not 5 full pages, 4 full pages and a couple extra bonus miracles maybe. Maybe, if they make it into the game. It's still pretty far off. Let's try and get the 40 base miracles into the game to begin with. Actually, wouldn't it be, wait a minute. 10 levels, 4 miracles per level, but then there's Miracle Hand, so it would be 41 miracles anyway. And then if we do the 2 bonus miracles, it takes us to 43 miracles total. Okay, so I basically just don't want... what don't I want? Page up and page down anymore. Sorry, end and home. End and home. No. I still kind of like end and home being min zoom and max zoom. I'll leave it. But I might also make it so control and scroll wheel does min or max as well. Okay. These are the ones that I want to get rid of. Page up and page down. Because they now just control the spellbook. I do... Okay, I'll do everything first and then I'll fix that. I need to update the helm menu to reflect all the new keybinds, but... Okay, so... We're going to remove... We're going to... So F1 through... F1... It's going to be... Where is that? I think it might actually be in the pause object, because pausing is involved in one of these, isn't it? So the help menu is going to be back on F1. Just need to change that. Which, the help menu, it needs to be on F1. You Just doesn't feel right if it's on anything other than F1. And then the controller... F1 through F4 are no longer going to control the time scale. They're not actually going to do anything, I don't think, for a while. We might figure out something for them to do eventually, but... Did I go too far? How many of these am I deleting? No, that's good. What does F9 do? Right, F9 through F11 are kind of some of my debug tools over there. Right, so we got F1 for help, F5 quick save, F6 quick load. That's it right now, I think, and then plus and minus to change timescale. Man, that stuff's good. Okay. Should I just call it speed? Or time scale? Okay, I've got F1 for help. I think I can shorten that by 16 pixels again. Maybe, do you think opening the help menu should hide the UI? That'd be a little bit better. I don't know if that helps. You might still want to kind of look at that stuff whilst referencing the help menu, whilst you're kind of learning things. Alright. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with that. I think maybe I'll write plus and minus instead of putting the icons, symbols. Yeah, I'd still have to modify. Okay. forward. Check. VK. I already have what I need. Do I? Wait, no. Where is it? What is it again? Oh wait, this is not. It's a different function. Mouse wheel down. Okay, so you can hold control and scroll the mouse wheel to zoom all the way in or zoom all the way out. I need to prevent it from doing regular zooming whilst holding control. Okay, that crashes the game. Because I'm using a variable that doesn't exist in that object. Fuck. Well, yeah, why am I doing camera control stuff not in the camera object, I guess? guess those functions are not great in the sense that they can only be used on this one object. There we go. Okay, so holding control, I can just very easily zoom all the way in or all the way out. And then if I release control, I get normal zooming. I feel like I'll use that quite a lot. In fact, I'd rather not zoom all the way in, but zoom to, like, you know, back to the default level. What if I hold shift on I made it, didn't. What do I press? I do control middle mouse. And that also has camera centering. So I can do control zoom out and then control middle mouse. Okay. Right. If I'm here and then I want to zoom out real quick and go over there without zooming all the way in, that's how I do that. It's pretty nice. So the one thing that's kind of a pain in the butt is that we can't zoom out any further than this without breaking stuff. It would be nice if I could zoom out even further, you know. I have to put some kind of limit on it somewhere eventually, but I kind of wish that control and mouse wheel up just reset me to the default zoom level, unless I'm at or below the default zoom level, in which case I'd rather it zoom me all the way in, because obviously I'm trying to zoom in further, right? I don't want to have to click middle mouse, I just want to be able to do this and go look at stuff, but not zoom in quite so much. So it's not quite min zoom and max zoom, it's like it's greater than 0, just reset zoom. 0 or less, zoom all the way in. Let's see what that does. So I'm at default zoom, holding control, zooms all the way out, zooms back to default, then zooms all the way in. That's exactly what I want. It's a lot more practical. You can kind of look at stuff. Can zoom right in if I want to, but generally I'm probably going to want to, you know, just pop out and back in real quick just to get a look at things. It's a bit weird if you're like slightly below, you know? Or if I was slightly above. But you just, I don't know. Don't really know what to do about that. You just gotta do two clicks if you like there. Okay. And control middle. I kind of want control space to center on camp and reset the camera zoom. That's what I want space to do. Control space. Because I don't know, I like resetting the camera on camp quite a lot, but I also 90% of the time also reset my zoom, but I have to do it manually, so now I can just like control zoom out, control space, like that. Take a look at this over here, hit this, and I'm back. Space will just center you up still. Control space, reset zoom and centers. Control and mouse wheel jumps between default max and minimum zoom. We zoom in based on cursor location now. Zoom in and out based on cursor location unless we have the follow cam attached to somebody. I can... Jesus Christ, why are they going so fast? How did we get back to 8 times speed? Thought I had it slowed down. Put the follow cam on somebody, it zooms on them. Except obviously it tries to stay in bounds. If I do the same, it still stays on them. Because it's just the same function. If I hit control space, it detaches it. Yeah, that's pretty nice quality of life stuff right there. I bet I'm gonna use control space all the time to do that. Really nice. Yeah, I'll probably get used to these controls over time. Time control on plus and minus now. F1 through... Oh, no, F1 is the help menu again, as it should be. As God intended. And F2, 3 and 4 do nothing. F5 and F6 quick save and quick load. F7, 8 do nothing. F9 is my little UI toggle. Can toggle the grid with F10. F11 gives me the little readout that tells me the tile ID. F12 takes a screenshot in Steam, that's why we're leaving it free. Alright, that's that done. Jesus. That water tastes pretty funky even after filtering it. Okay, I think I need to update the help menu again. Enough room for all of this stuff? Maybe I should just combine it with home and end. Even though, well, it does have slightly different functionality, doesn't it? The help menu is going to reach the bottom of the screen now. think I'm gonna do text position equals 8 starting out there. We still have a bit of a border or space around it, a margin. There we go. Fuck, I never mentioned about control plus space. Okay, I guess we're not gonna have any room whatsoever. Text position 0. This goes up another 16. 1072. 32. Why is this capitalized? I kind of feel like saying camp instead of men here, but yeah. So the other thing I was thinking about today was auto saving. Auto-saving might be a good feature. It's mainly the loading the saves that's the challenging part, really. Although I am getting pretty hungry, I might want to get some lunch. And then it's probably about time for Brewer's stream. See, I can very easily implement auto-saving, but how do we load the saves? All we have is quick load right now. We can't like choose save files. Although I could just have a separate keybind. One keybind for quick load and another keybind for loading autosaves, I guess. Is how I would do it right now, but I'm rapidly running out of space to express all of this stuff on the help menu. Yeah, I think I'm gonna break for lunch And I guess I'll just end stream here, because by the time I'm done with... Well, you know, I won't end stream right here, because I can do a little bit more whilst my food cooks, so... I'll be back in just a moment. Right after I throw something in the oven. 12 minutes and I'll throw some chicken in the oven. Let me look at my notes. Where are we at? Yeah, maybe I can do that. So that's done. Yeah. Hey Bong, how's it going? Oh yeah. Gonna cook up a fresh batch today for the next few days. Good, I'm glad it's going. Did that. Okay, so we're knocking them out. Most of the major stuff is done. So I realized, yeah, I did a hot fix last night at like 1 in the morning because I was like, shit, you know, it's all fucked. I realized that you might want, like, because we did the thing where you can pick up a mushroom and drop it on them to give it to them. That interrupted their actions. So you could be trying to give a shaman a mushroom whilst they're healing somebody and accidentally interrupt their heal, which is exactly the opposite of what you want to do. You want to give them mana so they can continue healing. So I had to change that. It's like, unless they're just wandering or idle, they won't be interrupted by it. And I enabled all of the other interrupts in the state itself, so anything including like thirst and hunger, those basic needs, will break them out of the tripping state. Just because it's just like a fun little Easter egg. Because mana regen is passive now, as opposed to them having to like actively regenerate mana in some state that can be interrupted. So even if it was interrupted, they would still be regenerating mana. That all came about because I would like pick a shaman up, drop them next to a mushroom, they eat the mushroom, and then I pick them up again to move them somewhere else, but it cancels the mana regen, which was really annoying. So I wanted the mana regen to continue. And I've just done today, I've just kind of finished off polishing up the new camera zoom. We have this fancy new camera zooming now. Oh yeah, we got the name now. Entheogen. So it zooms to the cursor, so I can like, I don't really have to use the keyboard as much. I just like hover over where I want to look. And I can, before I could hit space to center up on the camp, if I do control plus space, it also resets the zoom. If I hold control and zoom out, it goes to max, back to default, and then min. So I can do like big jumps like that. And also, if I have the follow cam on somebody, then it doesn't zoom to the cursor, it zooms to them instead. And I can still do like hold control as well, and then I can just reset. It's really handy. I don't think you're in the new Discord, are you, Bongrip? We've got to get you on the new Discord, bro. Wait a second, what? Oh, I think I posted stream in the wrong channel today. Whoops. There you go. He's in. Nice. Good to have you. So we've done all that. That's all good now. I've remapped the controls a little bit, so page up and page down changes spellbook pages. You control the timescale with plus and minus now. It's just mainly it all happened because Steam takes a screenshot if you press F12, right? And it used to be F9 through F12 for the timescale stuff, time controls. I had to kind of shuffle things around, and I've finally landed in a place that I'm happy with. But the thing that I realized is it's in the drops. Excuse me, it's in the drop script. Right, this is based on distance to object nearest human, which actually like means that you have to drop it on their hitbox, which is basically just at their feet. We need you to be able to drop it kind of anywhere on the sprite, right? Pretty much. So, it's a lot of work for a silly little Easter egg, but that's more than a silly Easter egg. It's actually kind of cool. It's kind of cool that you can like feed them mana whilst they're in the middle of healing. That's pretty sweet. Maybe there should be a miracle that can do it. I don't know, because if there's a miracle that can do that, it sort of makes mushrooms redundant. There is a miracle where you can create mushrooms, so, you know. Alright, so we got nearest human in a temp variable, so we can... Yeah, also I removed Miracle Fur from the game and replaced it with Miracle Herd. So the hunters still have to hunt the animals that you create with the Miracle. Because Miracle Fur, like, kind of just made them obsolete in a way. So, and I changed Miracle Water so you can't just put water in the store with it as well. You can only use it to extinguish fires. You can directly, like, give the humans a drink. You can refill their thirst with it. So, but you'd have to, like, go through and click on them all one by one, so it doesn't really totally do away with the need for water bearers, right? And I like the pacing. It takes them a little bit longer to build camp without Miracle Fur, and it just sort of feels right, I think, where it's at now. The pacing is in a good spot, actually. I think it's about 2 hours per level, and I just halved the length of a year, so you'll probably experience a full level, you'll definitely experience a full level. You'll experience a full year in each level, so you'll get to go through all 4 seasons. I think is good. I don't know, I haven't really tested that, but Brewer's going to do a playtest today, so we'll sort of get to see that in action. But this I need to do, like, I'm pretty sure I have probably like the exact code that I need somewhere else. Something like this, right? This is a point distance, though. what I want. There's this method of doing it, which might be a bit overkill. This is where you could use a collision rectangle, but yeah, I mean, considering it's, yeah, maybe it's a good use for a collision rectangle. You always want to avoid collisions if you can, but I mean, doing 4 separate checks like this is probably, I don't know actually what's slower, a collision check or doing this. But considering it's just something that happens like one time, very occasionally, it's not a big deal. So we could do like, oh wait, this looks for an object? No, that's not what I'm trying to do. I need like a point in rectangle? Oh, I gotta put the chicken in the oven. Point, collision. I could have sworn there was something like a point in rectangle. I don't know. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, I just realized I have the exact code that I need. Well, wait. Nope, because that works on this code. Gotta be in here somewhere. Maybe down here. This kind of thing. Point in. It's called point in rectangle. There we go. And I suppose that in a way that's not a collision actually. That's just kind of comparing coordinates. So it's probably pretty good. Probably kind of the perfect use case. Point in rectangle, mouse X, mouse Y. Nearest human X sprite X. Offset. Nearest human Y. Nearest human Y offset. Nearest human X offset plus. Nearest human sprite width. Nearest human Y. Nearest human Y offset. Nearest human sprite height. Boom. Done. Alright, that was quick and easy. Now you can drop the mushroom anywhere on top of the human, the nearest human, to feed it to them, instead of having to aim for the invisible hitbox, which is like at their feet. So that would probably confuse the hell out of players. So that's fixed. I guess probably want to kind of update my notes a little bit and get this build uploaded to Steam. And then eat some lunch. Okay. Boom. Cross that one off the list. Thought I was gonna sneeze. Let's put something like that. Dropping mushrooms on humans only works if you drop them on their feet. And camera controls. Pressing Control plus space centers the camera on the men here and resets to default zoom level, or resets zoom level. Is that a bit redundant? Resets zoom, even just resets zoom. Holding control. BTRL. Whilst scrolling down. I'm just going to scrolling down. Resets zoom if zoomed in. Holding control whilst... I should combine them together. Holding control while... Scrolling, should I say scrolling down first? Scrolling down whilst holding control. Holding control while scrolling down. No, the main thing here is scrolling down. Scrolling down whilst holding control. Resets. I want to say zoom level. Resets zoom level. Resets zoom level if zoomed in. Or zooms out. Scrolling down whilst holding control resets the zoom level if zoomed in. Jesus. Scrolling down whilst holding control resets the zoom level if zoomed in, or zooms out fully if at or above default zoom magnification zoom level. Magnification would be the right term, right? Scrolling down whilst holding control resets the zoom level, or just zoom level? Resets zoom level if zoomed in, comma, I guess. Or zooms out fully if at or above one times zoom? Technically it's zoom 0. Or zooms out fully if at or above the default zoom level. Scrolling up whilst holding control resets zoom level if zoomed out, or zooms in fully if at or below the default zoom level. Pressing Control plus middle mouse button resets zoom level. Which feels kinda redundant, but you can do that. Okay. So let's compile this build and get it on Steam. Should I crank the version number? Why not, I guess. I released version 0.6.0.6 yesterday, and then I released a hotfix for that version as well. So I kind of need to crank the version number now, just to differentiate them. Also, I added the icon file to the game, so it actually shows up in the taskbar now. I saw there was an option for a splash screen, which I checked out, and I was like, no, this is stupid. It just, like, slows down how long it takes to get into the game. by showing some artwork or something before it actually takes you to the main menu, so I was like, what's the point in that? We're not doing it. Okay. I'm probably going to lag out for a minute whilst I compile this. Really hoping I haven't, like, broken anything. You know, I was working on the game yesterday, but I was like, you know, I couldn't be 100% focused because I had a guest. And so I was like, you know, it's left me with that uneasy feeling of like, oh, what if I broke something and I don't know about it? So I'm hoping we're good. Okay, here we go. Here we go! Oh shit, yeah, the icon is on the EXE, of course. I hadn't noticed. Yeah, the icon is on the EXE now, that looks good. Steam pipe version 0.607. Upload. Success. Alright, head over to Steamworks. .607 default branch. Set build live. Oh. Do some quick patch notes. Oh shit, actually, well, it's a good job I remembered. I changed more stuff than this, didn't I? Should I... Okay. I'm gonna move this to a different section called Controls. Right. because there's more stuff to talk about as far as controls go. And then the actual camera update that I did really is like, because the other day we mentioned we zoom in and out on the cursor now, but it's like zoom in and out on follow target if follow cam is active, something like that. Zoom in and out on target if follow cam is active. I guess that makes sense. It's why I'm saying follow twice. Zoom in and out on target if follow cam is active. And then controls. We got the new camera controls, but now plus, I'll just say like plus and minus, increase / decrease, time scale, or speed. I'm calling it different things in different places. Time scale? That's what I want to say. Time scale. So I'll say that. Page up and page down. Switches usually have two states. Maybe that's not the right word. Switch between hotbar pages, something like that. Because spellbook, although I use the term spellbook, that's not. There is no spellbook in the game. It's never mentioned anywhere. Nothing is ever called a spellbook. But most people know what a hotbar is, so. Page up and page down, switch between hotbar pages. I guess that's it. And the help menu is back on the F1 key again. I don't think we need to mention that. Let's forget that that ever happened. That the help menu was on F7 for a period there. And bug fixes. Oh, centers. This is, what is this? The British spelling of center. What? Oh. I've been spelling it center, the American spelling, the whole time. Well, Steam is actually correcting me to the proper English version of it, okay. Controls does not have two L's in it. There are no actual trolls in controls. Okay. Hotbar, it's saying hotbar should possibly be two words, but... yeah, that's actually that's a term. That is a legitimate term for a thing in a UI. And then there was just that one bug fix with the mushrooms and the hitboxes. format this up nicely. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Why? You know what, I'm just going to copy that again. Okay, there's no time. Food's ready. I gotta post it and go. Alright, patch notes are up and the latest version is now available through Steam. I'll announce that in Discord in a second. I'm gonna stay live so that I can raid Brewer when he goes live, which should be momentarily, as he's gonna be playing some more Entheogen today. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Brewer's stream. I'll see you on Brewer's stream in just a minute. Peace out.